Hi everyone, welcome back to Sports Khabri. Welcome back, Summer. It's great to have you back, dude. Of course, Summer is a huge Mumbai City FC fan. We've had him before. We've spoken about Mumbai City and everything related to the club. Today, we'll be talking about transfers in specific. We've spoken about BFC already. Now we're moving on to another big club in Indian football, arguably the best right now in the ISL. Samar, before we start talking about Mumbai City, how are you dealing with the whole preseason stuff? There's no football, and how are you killing time?
Yeah, it's been difficult. Obviously, spending every day at the stadium last season, it was incredible. And with the off season is always difficult, but I think we've had our fair share of excitement with the new logo, the new identity, everything that's been surrounding with the club. So I feel like even though we're in off season, the excitement around Mumbai City FC hasn't been any less or any drop. So I feel like that helps me sort of stay up to date with everything.
Oh, I did want to ask you about the new logo. What do you make of it, dude?
Uh, the, See, we always knew it was going to happen. That's just what happens with every CFG club, and everyone takes it a little different. I feel like everyone who's been around the club wanted change. For them, the logo change sort of represents a complete shift in mentality, a complete shift in how we'll do things. We become 100 times more professional and 100 times, more efficient. But obviously, for the older guys like myself and everyone else, there is a huge amount of emotional attachment, with this logo. And I'm lucky enough to
Yeah.
have this logo on my jersey, and like that I have this jersey with me because I'll cherish it for the rest of my life. So it'll always be a part of our identity. But obviously, the new logo is exciting, and it's something that I guess is the new identity of the club now.
Well, you guys did win the League Shield last time. Didn't win the ISL trophy in the end. Lost to my club. I have huge pride in
Yeah,
that I
BSC.
hold. But yeah, but anyways, what are you looking forward to, dude, next season? What are the things that you're excited about this whole news now, the new look Mumbai City?
It's hard to say what I'm looking forward to because last year in the league itself, I don't think you can have a better league season than what Mumbai had last year. I think what Mumbai did, what we did, was something so out of this, our perceived imagination that it feels like it's going to be so much harder to top that. So obviously, my expectation for the league wouldn't be that we go out and do that again, but I hope that we come as close as possible, and if not, try to actually do the. I'm touching all the wooden, furniture in my room right now. The get the Invincibles shield, but in the actual ISL knockout season, I think we need to become better at knockout competition. We got knocked out of the Durand Cup finals. We got knocked out of the semi-finals in the ISL Shield, and Super Cup wasn't that great. So I feel like that's something that I'm hoping that we improve in cup competition and knockout competitions.
Yeah. Well, first, let's touch upon the biggest signing, I think, of the summer. Akash Mishra to
Yeah,
Mumbai City. There's Mohan Bagana
yeah.
buying a load of guys, but in my opinion, I still think Mumbai City are the favorites to win the league and probably win the ISL trophy in the end. So, what have you made of
Yeah,
the signing? There's a lot of buzz about it. What have you said, like, made about the Akash Mishra
yeah.
signing?
It's it's hard to sign a left back and have people so hyped about it. It's usually a position that's not really given a lot of attention across the last few years in Indian football, especially. We've had it was a very interesting start that in the last after the season ended, every position in the Mumbai City FC squad where an Indian plays regularly was represented in the national team except the left back position. So it was
Mhm.
quite obvious and evident that that is a position that Mumbai needed a lot of recruitment and needed a lot of work in. And especially considering Vignesh is a brilliant player, Mandar has his issues, but there's never any stability. So to go out there and get the best left back in the position that you are currently the weakest at is such a huge sign of intent, and it's such a huge sign that we are not here spending money just because we want to. We're spending money
Yeah.
because we know exactly what the player brings, and I think that is so exciting, and it's such a brilliant and professional outlook, towards what the club needs and the club should be doing anyways. So I'm incredibly excited about him. For me, yeah, he is the signing of the season because of what he brings to the club and what the club needed out of a player like him.
Sad to see Vignesh go though.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen Vignesh grow as a person and as a player. I remember when we first signed him, he had just come from Ozone FC, and I remember after the training session, we went to the team. We went to see the team, and I remember he was just standing in a corner, all shy and sort of excluded from the group because he still didn't feel like he belonged. Then I met him in Bangalore once at the airport, and I called him sir, and he was like, "Please don't call me sir." So we've seen that growth in Vignesh, going from the shy little kid who did not even know where he belongs or is he going to start, to go from to scoring bangers every alternate season, being integral in, what, three titles now for someone, the only Bangalore born goal scorer in the ISL, I think, or the only, if I'm not wrong. And
Yeah.
so it was a huge. I may be wrong about that. I'm thinking of Shiva Sakti right now, but I think that was
No,
it's
he's not from Bangalore.
really
But yeah,
disappointing. He's not from Bangalore, right? Yeah, yeah. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
so I am very disappointed to see Vignesh leave, obviously. But I am happy that he is going in a very mutually respectful way, and where he also will continue to play good football at a good club.
Yeah. Well, apart from that, there are a few departures that you might want to touch upon. Ahmed Jahu, Murtada Fall, a couple of
Yeah,
key foreigners leaving. How have you taken to that?
I feel it's the sign of a new cycle. Because these were players who are your essential core of the team. Your backbone, your centre back, and a defensive midfielder who've been there for 3 seasons. But a lot of people may not agree with this. I felt like it was time to move on, anyways. And I feel like even though the decision isn't one that a lot of people are going to take lightly because of the emotional and sentimental value to the players, it is a sort of decision that I think the club had to take. You could see Ahmed Jahu was slowing down a bit, even though he was the fittest he's ever been, according to his own words. He was slowing down a bit. He was a little bit more casual in possession, and it starts to turn into a liability. And with Mutada fall, it was very obvious that he wasn't a starter.
Yeah.
And even when he was playing games, or even when he was coming off the bench, he just did not look like the player he used to be. He did not have the pace in him. He has the strength, but how the strength can only take you so far. So it was time for, I think, them to move on, for Mumbai to move on from them, and I feel like overall the fact that we could get them replaced, or is a great initiative and a great sign of things to come.
If I'm not wrong, I think Mumbai have also extended contracts for Royston Griffiths and Pereira Diaz. So again,
Yeah,
like important foreigners, you see Griffiths starting every game now at centre back.
exactly. I do. I think he is the first choice centre back because of the versatility he brings, but also more importantly because of the sort of calmness in possession he brings. He helps Mehta be a bit more settled and adjusted in that back line. So I think, yeah, I do see him starting, and obviously JPD. He is this incredible, such a niche player that when you think, is he the best finisher? No. Do you think he's the best at headers? No. Is he the best in the air? No. But he still is going to score 11, 12 goals. He still is going to be that pressing engine in the team, which is so useful and it's so hard to find. So it was very important that we did extend him because of the utility that he brings to the team.
Well, in recent weeks, Jayesh Rane has come back, has gone on loan from BFC to Mumbai. Uh, how do you take to
Yeah.
that signing? Because he was, at least as far as I'm concerned, he wasn't used much. Simon Grayson barely used Jayesh Rane. And
Yeah.
yeah, how have you taken to him moving to Mumbai City, given the fact that he has not had a lot of football in the past,
Yeah.
say, a year or two?
Yeah. It is. It's not complicated or it's not difficult to understand, but I do feel like it's not the profile that Mumbai was looking for, anyways, or they shouldn't have been looking for. Essentially, what he brings is that Mumbai. central sort of player focus, because Mumbai is missing a lot of these local boys since Rain is gone, and so Jayesh brings that. But in terms of pure profile, I don't think he's the player Mumbai needed. Essentially, he's going to be an Apuya backup, but with the lack of minutes over the last season, I think less than 450 minutes, if I'm not wrong, including Super Cup. And the season before that, his injuries and everything that he's gone through, I don't think that he's the player. If he makes a good backup to a backup, which I feel like what he is going to be, because we do have Vineet at the team still. But yeah, I think it's a signing that's not going to make a huge impact over the regular course of the season, but he may come up with like these few moments that do make him stand out or something like that.
I think we can't go doing a podcast about Mumbai City without talking about Changte, poster boy for Mumbai, probably poster boy for India now. Uh,
Correct.
Dude, I mean, I got when Mumbai came to Bangalore, I didn't really care about what he was doing. Like, I was like, I need to focus on my
Yeah.
team. But when he came to Bangalore with the Indian setup, and I saw how much he ran up and down, it's crazy, dude. And how important is he to your squad?
I think he's made himself not just irreplaceable, but he's made himself a focal point of this Mumbai City FC attack. And I think a huge part of it is also because of the way Diaz plays. He allows Changte to sort of explore himself and sort of to even extend and um just get more involved in attack, more involved in the box. But the freedom that he's been given, the amount of responsibility that he's been given, and the way he's just improved his technique so much, it's truly a testament to how important an Indian player can be to your squad. He's not just
Yeah.
a player who's running up and down. He's not just a player who's crossing. He's a player who's getting in the box. He's a player who's making those 1-2 passes. He's scoring. You look at him and you go, that's a sight to behold. And I think he's not just integral, but he's almost focal at this point to this to this Mumbai City FC setup.
I think there's another player who's quite important, and I'm sure you'd agree as well, Apuya. But if I'm not wrong, he was injured and he was not a part of the national team for their multiple tournaments
Yeah,
recently.
that's
Do you think
what the
he can hit the
initial
ground
news was.
running? Yeah,
I do. And I feel like with the presence of Yol Van Neef now, the new number 6, the Jahu replacement, I feel like he'll be able to do that a lot more. And I just purely say that because Yol is a lot quicker than Jahu, so that allows Apuya to focus less on tracking back or covering or sort of shielding between the lines. But more importantly, he can do more on the ball and even off the ball pressing up front. So I feel like yeah, I think it'll be a better season for him, especially third year in the setup, everything. And again, injuries is something that I'm not sure was officially the reason, because that was the initially stated reason. But I think later on it was said that there was some complication,
yeah.
which I'm not sure exactly what the reason was, and I'm not going to question AIFF about it, because you can't question AIFF about anything. So yeah, so I do expect a better season from him. Last season was underwhelming, but yeah, I do believe that it is going to be a much better season this year.
And well, we're getting closer to the Durand Cup. We're almost there.
Yeah,
What sort of a side do you want to see
yeah.
Mumbai put out in this tournament?
I want us to see put out the best side we can. I want Mumbai
Okay.
to put out the absolute strongest side on paper, the strongest side they can, and I want them to go out and win. But obviously, because it is technically pre-season, I also want a lot of the fringe players, a lot of the bench players to get minutes. So I want us to play a mix of teams where on one match day we have a lot of the main players in some position, and then bench players and fringe players in the others, and then the next game it's reversed where the fringe players are replaced by starting players, so that they all get the experience of playing with the set players, guys like Nikum, who obviously we have so much to see. Then we have guys like Asif, um, and Ayush Chikara, who've done really well. Ayush Chikara also got us a goal in the Super Cup, which was an incredible moment for all of us. Then players like Hayden Nongtu at centre back, and even if Valpuya comes back, so there's a lot to see and a lot to see in the Durand Cup. And I expect and I hope that we can get past our last year's final woes and go out and actually win the
Yeah.
Durand Cup this year.
Well, if it's going to end up like last year, I'd take it. But we'll see what happens this
Yeah,
year.
exactly.
Yeah. So, anyways, just final question, Samar. Predictions for the ISL. Where do you see Mumbai finishing this year? Given, I mean, you have a pretty strong squad. I don't think there are too many changes you guys need to make. But
Yeah.
anyways,
Yeah. I think we are just one or two signings away, maybe, to becoming a squad better than last year. I don't know if it's going to happen, but given everything that's already happened, all the transfers that we've got in, and the stability in the squad, I would not expect anything less than a top two or even a shield finish.
okay, guys, that's Samar's prediction. And honestly, to be fair, that's mine too. I think Mumbai City going to have a brilliant season yet again. It's going to be Mohan Bagan probably going to challenge you guys. Maybe BFC, I don't know, but you guys just look too settled at the
Yeah.
moment. Well, Samar, thanks a lot for doing this, dude. And yeah, I hope to see you again sometime.